Good morning, everybody. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day. I know today for some might be a hard day, just like Mother's Day. I know some of your dads might be in heaven, so you might not have a good relationship with your dad. I just want to let you know you always have a father, and that is who?
Jesus and God.
Jesus and God, and he is a father to the fatherless.
I was gonna say God.
You were?
Yeah.
Okay. He is a father to the fatherless and a defender of widows, and he's always with you. And I just hope and pray that if you are feeling lonely or sad today, know that he is with you always. And I wanted to do a little giveaway today for Father's Day. Comment below 3 things that you're grateful for. And I'm going to do a $50 Yee gift card for Father's Day. You'll get it after Father's Day, but you can still buy your dad something after that, or buy yourself something, however you want to spend it. Comment below 3 things you're grateful for, and let's get into our Arise. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Arise with Amber. Thank you all for joining me. I hope some of you have your coffee this morning. I hope a lot of you are still in your robes or your PJs, or just cuddling up on the couch with your family, your loved ones, or just even by yourself. So thank you for joining me today. First off, let me talk about how many of you said the prayer with me last week. I am just so happy that so many of you either re-said that prayer or said it for the first time. I can't tell you what that means to me, that so many of you took that leap of faith and asked Jesus into your heart. And I hope you have already felt his presence this week and felt his love and his grace for you this week, because it's incredible. So I'm so happy that so many of you chose to take that step. The winner of the butterfly warmer, I'm gonna stick her name right here, Trisha QP Texas. Trisha QP Texas. So send me an email, amberemelysmith@gmail.com, and I will get that shipped to you. Send me an email with your address. So thank you all for entering. Let me also say thank you all for making this such a safe space where I can talk about anything, you guys can talk about anything in the comments, and I read your comments, and sometimes I can't respond, but I see you guys responding to each other, lifting each other up, and sharing your stories and praying for each other, and I love that so much. Please keep doing that. Please keep making this a safe space for people. Thank you guys for being vulnerable and sharing your stories and sharing your heartache and your pain and your joy, and I would like to hopefully keep it in that same safe area. I want this to be a safe space for you guys. So today, I wanted to talk about building a solid foundation. So with anything, you need a solid foundation in order to withstand the elements, whether that's in your home, whether that's actually building something like your home, whether that is in your marriage, and also in your heart and in your mind and your spiritual home. You need to have a solid foundation. You need to have deep roots into your faith and into your love and trust for the Lord. Otherwise, anything that comes your way can just knock you right down, blow you over. I received some things this week, whether I received a couple of comments on YouTube, I received something in the mail that didn't sit well with me. It didn't bring me a peace. It made me, I don't know, you guys all know you have a gut feeling about something. It just didn't feel good. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel peaceful. And so I want to encourage you, where if you hear something from somebody, if you receive something from somebody, and you're trying to discern if that is coming from the Lord or trying to guide you in a certain way, just to pray about that. Even me saying what I'm saying, if you don't feel it aligns with what you believe and your faith and your journey, you don't have to listen to it. It's all about your own personal relationship with the Lord, and just pray about that. Ask yourself, does it line up with Scripture? Does it line up with God's character for you, for love and for grace and for truth? Does it give you a peace inside of you, or does it give you like an icky feeling? Like a couple of things that I've received, it didn't give me a peace. So I prayed a lot about it. I ended up just throwing those away because I don't know. So I wanted to read Matthew 7:15. It's, beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. We have to be aware, because as we all know, Satan is alive and well and can disguise himself as an angel of light and bring you things that try to sway you in a different direction or tempt you in a certain way. And you really gotta pray about it. You really gotta dig those roots down deep and build a strong foundation for your life so that those types of things won't sway your thinking about God and his love for you. Getting closer in your relationship with the Lord and building on that foundation that you start. As you do that and as you start to feel closer to God, you will, Goosey just sneezed, bless you. You will start to feel closer and you will start to be able to discern that voice easier. We're all still gonna make mistakes. I mean, sometimes we act on things that we think are from God and they're not. So just pray about it. Tuck it in your heart and pray about it. Proverbs 4:23, guard your heart above all else, for everything you do flows from it. We have to guard our hearts, and I also think your mind should be in there too. It's so easy to be swayed, to be tempted, you know. I mean, it happened in the Garden of Eden, and then since then, our world has just been so, but the whole time God is trying to bring us back to him and trying to redeem our story and bring people to the kingdom of heaven. So ever since Satan tempted Adam and Eve in the garden, we are always being tempted. We are always being pulled. There are always false prophets. They come in the form of people or shows or anything in your life can sway you into a way of thinking. And so that's why we have to build that strong foundation. So building a solid foundation, Matthew 7:24-25, the wise and foolish builders. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, yet it did not fall, because it had its foundation on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell with a great crash. So if we build our foundation on what is true, on what God's promises are, on what aligns with Scripture, we can trust his plan and we won't be tempted or swayed when someone tries to make us question our faith. A lot of times people will say, people who aren't believers will say, you know, well, where was your God when this happened? Where was your God when River drowned? And to them I say, he was right there with them. He was holding him, and he's holding me, and he's been holding me. And so as long as we have that, I have that foundation in my faith, I won't let things like that, people like that sway me. And I hope you guys can do that too. I hope that, I know we all go through hard things, and I know, you know, whether it's financially, in our marriage, school, in church, I hope that you guys can just grab a hold of that foundation and plant your roots so deep that so that if somebody does come at you saying something like that, you can firmly shut it down and just know and believe in your heart. No, my God is for me. He is with me. He has a plan for my life. I don't understand it, but I will choose to trust in that plan. Proverbs 3:5, trust the Lord with all your heart and lean on it, not into your own understanding. We also don't know, you never know how well your structure is built, how well your foundation is built until you are tested. Until you are tested by the elements, until you are tested by the storms of life, until you are faced with death, a loss of a marriage, a loss of a job, children going off, you know, onto a bad path. We just have to stay firm in our foundation of the truth in the Lord and trust in that. And there are going to be, you know, storms can break windows, storms can break down doors, storms can rip roofs off, but so we're constantly going to be renovating ourselves, renovating our hearts. But if that foundation is firm, the whole structure is still going to stand, and we're not going to lose that. So try to stay true to that. Okay, so Jesus Calling, June 19th. I wanted to read, which is actually funny because I was praying about what I wanted to talk about this week, and foundation came to mind, building a strong foundation. And then, of course, I open up Jesus Calling today, and it says, I am the firm foundation on which you can dance and sing and celebrate my presence. This is my high and holy calling for you. Receive it as a precious gift. Glorifying and enjoying me is a higher priority than maintaining a tidy, structured life. Give up your striving to keep everything under control, an impossible task and a waste of precious energy. My guidance for each of my children is unique. That's why listening to me is so vital for your well-being. Let me prepare you for the day that awaits you and point you in the right direction. I am with you continually, so don't be intimidated by fear. Though it stalks you, it cannot harm you. As long as you cling to my hand, keep your eyes on me, enjoying peace in my presence. I love that because God's guidance for us is so unique. It's so personal to each one of us. Oh, my papers just flew away. It's so personal to each one of us, and God is not going to guide us. He's going to guide us all on our own path and in our own way, and we have to trust that for ourselves. Just because the Lord is taking me down a path I can't look at somebody else's path and go, well, why is the Lord guiding them that way and not me that way? We have to trust that he has a plan for you. He loves you so much. Out of what do we have now? 10 billion people in the world. He loves each of you so much that he has his own personal relationship with you. The way I feel or see the Lord is going to be completely different from the way that you feel or see the Lord. And that's okay. That's actually amazing. And I love, just like as a parent, you parent each of your children differently. And he loves and treats each of us differently. How do we do this? How do we create a strong foundation? I'm going to give you a couple, 5 steps to do this. First of all, it takes time, and it takes patience, and it takes grace for yourself. But first off, you can start by asking the Lord into your life, asking Jesus into your heart, which so many of you did last week, and choosing to say, okay, from this day forward, Lord, I'm going to live for you. I'm going to trust you. I'm going to let you into my heart, and I'm going to accept the way that you are guiding me through this life. Yes, I will fall. There will be turns I'll miss. I might make wrong decisions, but I will focus on you, for you being the lamp to my feet and guiding my steps, and choose to just never look back. Choose to accept Jesus today. Say, that's it, Lord, I'm living for you. Choose to never look back. Surround yourself with good people. Number 2, surround yourself with good friends, good family, people who can hold you accountable, people who you can trust, people who bring you peace and not turmoil and toxicity. Find a good church family. If you can't do that, go online. Find a group online, find a small group that you can attend. Just surround yourself with good people that you can trust. And some people might feel like they're alone and that they have nobody to turn to. You always have God. You can always trust the Lord. Talk to him, pray to him. Hopefully you can find, one person that you can lean on during times of trouble. And if you don't have that one person, like I said, you have Jesus and you have the Lord. So thank you, God, for that. Seek wise counsel. So I have quite a few, thankfully, really amazing, special women in my life who I seek wise counsel from. And they don't always have to be older. Using the word wise sounds like it has to be an older person. There are women younger than me that are seasoned Christians and just know so much more than I do. And I still have so much to learn every single day. My mother-in-law is an amazing wise counsel for me. She always has great advice, always guides us in the right way, always guides us lovingly and gracefully. But she's so smart and so seasoned in her knowledge of the Bible and her experiences with God. I also have wonderful girlfriends who are my prayer warriors and are in my small group Bible study, and even ones that aren't in my Bible study who are just powerful prayer warriors. I talked about that recently. Women that I trust, that I can call and be honest with, and they can also shoot it to me straight. They can tell me their feelings, and we just trust each other. So seeking wise counsel in that way, that could be a pastor, a pastor at your church. It could be a teacher. It could be anybody that you feel that you can trust to guide you in the right way if you have questions about your faith or anything like that. Create a routine, whether that is prayer, whether that is like some sort of morning routine, doing a devotional, journaling, meditation, listening to worship music, which I've put my Spotify list down below in the description. Just create a sense of building a relationship with the Lord each day. For me, it's waking up, having my coffee, sitting down, doing a little bit of Bible work, reading my devotionals, listening to worship music in my car, journaling. I like to journal. Going to church on Sundays. I really miss going to my Bible studies with my ladies. I did that on Monday nights. You can log on and find, small groups in your area where you could either do them online or do them in person. Right now with all the stay-at-home stuff, there's so many amazing sermons and scriptures online and Instagram stories that people do. There's just amazing testimonies and ministries that you guys can find online to lift you up, build you, guide you in hope. So look online for resources for that too. Practice gratitude. How we say it, it's, always try to be better and not bitter. It's hard to be angry when you're grateful for things. Start a gratitude journal. Be grateful for the things that you do have in your lives. Don't focus on the negative in your life or the bad things in your life. Find 3 things that you're grateful for today. Write those down. Tomorrow, do it again. Find 3 things that you're grateful for today. And you'll start to build that gratitude, and it turns your thinking to a more positive outlook on life than always being kind of just negative. Go out and serve others. Go do something for somebody else. Go help work, package food for a food bank. Go volunteer somewhere. Go purchase the person behind you their order at Starbucks or McDonald's or anything like that. Go pay for a veteran's meal. Go out and do something kind to serve somebody else, because I promise it'll make you feel so much better when you're not focusing on yourself. Share your story, share your testimony with people. Don't be afraid to be who you are, and that includes all the flaws and all the good things about yourself. Share your story, because be vulnerable, because people feel close to you when you can open up. And I know that's hard for people to do. It's not the easiest thing to do in the world, but if you can find a way to do that, do that. Share your story, help to guide people, and just share your light. Share your experiences with people, because so many people are just like me and you. We all go through hard things, and we all need each other to lean on to help guide us through that. Have courage. God doesn't always tell us that we have to feel strong, but we can be strong. Joshua 1:9, have courage. The Lord your God is with you wherever you may go. I told you we're working on the barn, so there's all kinds of construction and that type of stuff behind me. Okay, I have another poem I want to read, and this is a poem called Hello God. I don't know who the author is. I tried to look it up. I'm sure a lot of you have heard this, but I wanted to read it. It says, hey God. God says hello. I say, I'm falling apart. Can you put me back together? God says, I would rather not. Why? Because you aren't a puzzle. What about all of the pieces of my life that are falling onto the ground? Let them stay there for a while. They fell off for a reason. Take some time and decide if you need any of those pieces back. You don't understand. I'm breaking down. No, you don't understand. You're breaking through. What you're feeling are just growing pains. You're shedding the things and the people in your life that are holding you back. You aren't falling apart. You're falling into place. Relax. Take some deep breaths and allow those things you don't need anymore to fall off of you. Quit holding on to the pieces that don't fit you anymore. Let them fall off. Let them go. Once I start doing that, what will be left of me? Only the very best pieces of you. But I'm scared of changing. I keep telling you, you aren't changing. You're becoming. Becoming who? Becoming who I created you to be, a person of light and love and charity and hope and courage and joy and mercy and grace and compassion. I made you for more than the shallow pieces you have decided to adorn yourself that you cling to with such greed and fear. Let those things fall off of you. I love you. Don't change. Become who I made you to be. I'm going to keep telling you this until you remember it. There goes another piece. Yep, let it be. So I'm not broken? No, but you're breaking like the dawn. It's a new day. Become. I love that poem so much. We can all, sometimes we can feel like the stuff that we're going through, we can just feel like we're completely falling apart, and we're losing jobs, we're losing marriages, we're losing children, we're losing friendships, we're losing so much in our lives, and it can feel like we're completely just breaking down. But I hope that we can just try to trust in God's plan and know that He is working in our lives so that we can become who we were created to be and who we were meant to be. And that is to shine, to share our story, to be vulnerable, to be honest, to bring others to the kingdom of heaven. Okay, so I wanted to also share a couple of apps that you guys may like. Some of you always ask me about devotionals, which devotionals I do. I do Jesus Calling almost every day, Hearing His Voice, Great is Thy Faithfulness, New Morning Mercies. I'll put all of those in the list down below. There's also a bunch of apps on your phone. If you're not a book person, I do the YouVersion Bible app. I do First 15 sometimes. That's like 15 minutes of scripture in a devotional. First 5 is 5 minutes if you don't have that much time. There's so many plans in the YouVersion Bible app where you can go in and select what you're feeling at that moment. If you're feeling guilt, anger, sadness, joy, love, if you have questions about marriage, parenthood, you can put that in and it will create a plan for you to go through and read. And they're short plans. It's like, you could do one for 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, something like that. So that might be something for you guys to look into. What else do I have for you guys today? I think that's it. I hope some of you guys will put into practice those 5 steps to build a strong foundation in your faith. If you already have some of those, if you are new to trying to build a relationship with the Lord, try to put those in place. Like I said, pray about everything. Pray about your feelings about something. If it doesn't bring you a sense of peace, pray about it. Sit on it, wait on it. Don't make any rash decisions until you feel good about a certain decision or a peace about it. So next week we're going to talk about finding meaning in things, there's the 5 stages of grief, which are not, like I said before, not stages that you go one after the other and you just reach acceptance and everything's fine. There's a sixth step that they just added, and that's finding meaning in things. And so I want to talk about finding meaning next week. So I hope you guys will join me next week. I hope you guys got something out of this week. I hope you start to build your firm foundation so that when things come your way, you won't be swayed. You can trust in the Lord, trust your own heart, trust your own mind, and not be tempted, not be swayed. Not today, Satan. You guys are chosen. You're so important. I'm grateful for all of you. Keep lifting each other up in the comments. Keep going, keep fighting, whatever you're going through. You have made it. You are still here today. You are here for a reason. You are watching this for a reason. You're so loved. I appreciate all of you. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week.